It's been a while. No, I haven't uploaded last week, 2 weeks ago, and I haven't uploaded last week's. So, but I'm back in the city. A couple of things that have happened. I started the Artist's Way this morning, and I made it as a finalist for a grant. And I have a couple of opportunities that have come on my table, so things really went pew, and that's how it is sometimes. But yeah, it was nice to be home with family. It's nice to be back, and I feel more grounded in a way. And I realize I've lost my sparkle, so I'm really recommitting to get back to that. And I think the alignment of the Artist's Way and the weather and everything will kind of help with that. So that's a super quick update. Yeah, that's really all I have for now. I'm just gonna continue enjoying my evening. Getting really cute. And I have my hair in twists. My mom and I did them. But yeah. Today was one of those days where like things were looking up. But it's just a series of ups and downs as it goes. Excuse me. But I'm gonna finish up these homemade crepes, and I'll check in with you hopefully more in depth tomorrow. Hello. Oops. I just got a little bit of a preview of the photos that I just took. Today was a great day. We are at 2 for 2 for waking up at 6:30 in the morning. It's about to be 11. I wanted to eat, but I also need to go to sleep because I have an 8-mile run in the morning and it has gotten hot, so the run has to happen early. But I can't run like early because it's still dark out. But anyway, came back from a gig. Finished that up, just ingested the photos. I usually try and make selects before I go to bed, but I'm like kind of don't want to do that low key, so I'm gonna just turn off my laptop. But the event went really well, and it was super cool because I ended up leaving early because like the event kind of wound down, and ran into 2 of my favorite photographers who I assisted in a very minimal capacity a couple years ago. And we chatted and caught up, and that was really lovely. And it was one of those moments where it was like serendipitous, where it's like if I had stayed at my actual time, we wouldn't have reconnected. So that was really great. And oh my gosh, so much has happened because it's just, I'm just updating my timesheet. Yeah, I've worked like a lot today, but like in a very healthy way, which is why I love waking up early. Got accepted as a finalist for a grant for the photo workshop that I'm planning for this year, and had a great interview today. I think it was great. We find out next week. But didn't find out until the very end that the person who's interviewing me revealed that she was a photographer, and she was like, this is amazing. Very comprehensive, very detailed, very well thought out, like everything. So we'll see what happens, but I'm feeling very confident about it. So I had that. And then I've been doing a lot of my curriculum reading. Because I had to go, I bought some equipment. I bought 2 SD cards, a 256 gig one. That's the highest SD card I've ever gotten. Gig or megabytes? Gig. And 2 flash batteries to have extra ones. So now I have 3, and 2 additional camera batteries. So now I think I have like 5. And I feel so much better. And one SD card was 256 and the other one was a 128. Because I like lost the 128 that I had, I think. So that feels good to have. I have a grad shoot next week with a pretty big group, and I just like wanted to have large storage and a decent amount of batteries. And it felt so good. Like I didn't even check my battery levels today at the gig, which I usually do. Because I was like, I know I have 2 more flash batteries and I have enormous amount of camera batteries, so that feels really nice. Guess how much all that cost? $330. Yeah, SD card prices have gone up, so that wasn't fun, but it's necessary. So I did that. So I was back and forth on the train doing that, and then the gig. So that was like 2.5, 3 hours on a train total, maybe 2.5 hours. So I got a lot of reading done for the curriculum, which was really lovely. It's easier to get through this curriculum, I think, than the first one that I had with the photo one, because those are photo books, which are really hard to take with you physically when you're going somewhere, but these are like smaller books, so very easy. So I did that. I applied to one photo workshop or one photo contest, and I applied to something else. Hold on, because I applied to something else as well today. Wait, I'm checking. A festival open call exhibition in Italy. So we'll see. And then I did the grad interview, the photography, and then I'm back. So yeah, so it's been a really packed day, but I feel really good and energized. That's the beauty, again, of waking up early, is just having the time. I did my morning pages with the Artist Way. I don't remember if I mentioned it yesterday, but I started the Artist Way. So we're on day 2, so I did my morning pages with that. Had a lovely little breakfast, had a lovely little morning. And yeah, so I'm feeling really good, and things are kind of like feeling like they're falling into place in a way. And I do feel a little more of my sparkle returning. I think just like having the morning, like just having, like I'd done so much and had such a fulfilling morning by the time it was 10 a.m. So that felt really, really good. I think the big thing now that I want to get on is eating well. And I did groceries yesterday midday. And then today I didn't have the chance to meal prep. So that's going to be the plan tomorrow, is to meal prep. That way I have something ready to eat, but the fridge is stocked and all that. So that's like the only thing I really want to work on. And I'm excited because I have some really great events. Yesterday I got the chance to hang out with my bestie. I hadn't seen him in a while, and I've just like been feeling so disconnected from friends because I think we've all been busy and hibernating, and I've been like so locked in. So it was really nice to spend time with him, and then I'm spending time with a friend on Friday, which I'm excited about, and seeing a friend tomorrow at an event. And I'm going to 2, maybe just one, like agricultural gardening event happening in the area, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, it just overall like feeling more connected with myself, and I think just reconnecting with things that I love to do, which is like reading, and also spending time in the morning, and like even just the morning pages has been really helpful, and doing activities and seeing friends has been like, I think what I identified as like what I want to refocus on because of needing my sparkle. So tomorrow also I'm gonna put out the 2 Overexposed episodes. That's the goal. So those are kind of done. Hopefully the newsletter still has not gone out. Hopefully by the end of this month. And yeah, I think I don't remember if I mentioned this yesterday, but I've just been, I was mentioning it on a voice memo, so I haven't mentioned it here. But I've been kind of rethinking the timeline that I had for myself. Even like with the photo workshop, like I wanted that kicked off in Feb, and we're like, okay, we want to do this properly, so it's going to be kicked off in May. And I thought after Q1, like Q2 will roll around, and I'll have all my business logistics stuff down, and I'll be starting like the big photo project that I have been teasing and that I've been applying to grants for, but nothing has worked out grant-wise. And one thing I've learned now with the photo workshop planning is I don't want to rush it. There's no point in rushing it if I want to do this properly, and properly being the way that I've outlined that I want to get it done. So I need funding and I need proper equipment to make that work. So that is going to be like delayed until I feel good and ready for that. And so now I'm kind of like, what am I going to do? Like, what do I do in the interim? So I have a bunch of other projects that I want to work on. So kind of looking into that and like kind of getting those kickstarted, hopefully, that are more like accessible, and pulling and really focusing on this workshop, and also like pulling on my connections that I have to potentially get some other opportunities to freelance and, tap into a bunch of different other things, back into the photojournalism world, like back into, a bunch of different things. So we'll see how that goes. Again, as long as I make rent each month, I think I'm good. And I made rent last month, and I believe I'll be making rent this month. So that's good. That's great. I haven't had to dip into my savings for 2 months, which is really nice. So yeah, I think having that solidified made me feel a little better, because I was really anxious at one point where I was like, I feel like I haven't done anything. Like I haven't had a tangible thing to show yet. And just really understanding that like all of this is going to take time. And this is like long-term investment in a long game and like lifelong commitment. And there doesn't have to be a rush to make this work. This being like projects or like, you know, certain outcomes. So yeah, I think and I don't want to neglect myself. I was pushing myself so much, and I don't want to neglect myself because I was losing my sparkle, and I don't want that to happen. That's why, you know, I left, so I can have more freedom and ability to connect with myself and be with myself. So those are all the thoughts at the moment. Feels really good to be back in the city. I do really love being home and being with my family, but I think there's something about what that space means to me and like how I used to exist in that space and who I am and how I exist here. And I think I need to become a little more fully formed into who I am here, because I feel like I'm in a transition space into a different part of myself. We're always transitioning into different parts of ourselves, but like in growing, and all that will always be the case. But I feel like there's 2 distinct parts of me, and I'm in the middle of that transition. And when I'm at home, like I'm still old me, and like maybe fall into patterns, you know, of when I was a teenager or whatever. And then there's a me now. And I think because I don't have a strong footing in who I am now and what I'm doing and what I'm looking to do and how I want things to work for myself, when I go back, I don't know. It's just like the tension between, you know, the old me and then who I'm trying to become doesn't really exist well in that space. Because, you know, spaces hold memory, and like it's not like a people situation, it's just like an environmental thing. So that was really good for me to identify, and I think really, really resonated when I took a train. So I took a train down to North Carolina and back, so it was like 12 to 15 hours on a train both ways. So it was a lot of time, and it was really cool because the train served as a vehicle of transition. And on my way back, I was finishing up Communion by Bell Hooks, which was a reread, and just like the chapters that, you know, I was reading at that time, it really resonated in that moment. And I really felt like I literally was like transitioning back into or away from who I was, and what that space brought out in me. So that was something really beautiful in that process, that I really enjoyed. And yeah, it feels like, I feel like I'm in a renewal, you know, spring is in the air, spring is here, things are in growth. The sun is out, and, you know, life is feeling like it's worth living again when it's not as cold. And business is kicking up, and like more opportunities are arising, and, you know, you're hearing back from things. So yeah, I just kind of like embracing all of that and living in it and being present in it. I think I've gotten so used to like so much rejection that like I'll be like, yeah, the next one, right? So like even like getting the good news about being a finalist for this grant, I'm like, yeah, okay, like the next one. But I really want to be better about being present in all of it, because it's gonna be high highs and low lows, and hopefully in between moments. So can't really like always be living for that. And I think I do a relatively good job being present. But you know, that's a muscle that has to always be practiced. So yeah. Also, do you like my hair? My mom did my twists. I'm trying to be better about like taking care of my hair as well. So I'm growing, no comments or thoughts about my eyebrows. I'm growing them out because I want to, like, I do them myself, but I want to go to like a eyebrow specialist, not like an eyebrow spot, which is what I used to do. And then they thinned out my eyebrows. So I want to go to like those people who like shape them and everything, like do the whole thing. So I'm letting them grow out significantly, and then I can like follow their map. You didn't ask, you weren't thinking, but I decided to share. So here we are. You're the one who hasn't skipped this yet. But those are the thoughts that are on my head right now, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this run. I'm really like, I should eat, because if I'm gonna do an 8-mile run, I need to have proper fuel. Oh, it's already 11. Even yesterday, though, I went to bed at midnight and I still woke up at 6:30. I made myself, and I haven't napped yet. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit of a nap day, but I'm gonna make myself wake up at 6. We're trying to ease ourselves into a 5 a.m. wake up, but I'm like easing myself into it. So we'll see. I forget how many days they say it takes to solidify a habit, like 90 days, 30 days. So we 2 days in, all right. So we gotta take some time. But just taking things day by day, and I think the more evidence that I have and reminders of like how good I feel and how much I am able to do in a day for myself and for the business, and being able to be more present with my friends and my partner and my family, like just in these 2 days, I think is going to be the push that will get me out of bed and not press snooze. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Oh, one last thing too, with my conversation with 2 of my favorite photographers that I ran into, my boyfriend said something really great that I actually wrote down. Or maybe I didn't actually write it down. Hold on. Excuse me. He said, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Period. Because, let me actually put that in my notes so I can save that. Excuse me. Yeah, because I saw them in the distance. I knew they probably didn't remember me, but I introduced myself, talked to them, and, you know, just knowing their work, but also just like, I went into that event. So what I've been experiencing at, you know, I've been doing more event photography stuff. There's always somebody who's like, hey, you know, I'd love to like see some of your work or whatever. And you never know who somebody is. Not that you should be going around thinking, ooh, I need to be kind to this person so I can get something out of them in case they end up being important. You should always be kind. Being kind has like paid me forward in life in so many different ways. But yeah, I've had so many experiences at events where people are like, oh, I'd love to like see your work, and I bring my business cards with me, but I leave it in my bag, and I don't walk around taking photos with my bag on. It's usually in a cubby somewhere. So this is the first event where I was like, let me put some in my pocket so that I have immediate access in the event that somebody asks. 2 people ended up asking for my card at the event. Was it 1 or 2? 1 for sure. Yeah, 1 for sure, actually. My bad. I thought it was 2. 1 for sure. And so, you know, I walk out of the event and I see them cross the street. We start talking and they're like, we'd love to like have your information. And I gave them my cards and I had it with me on my pocket, and I didn't, you know, have to take out my bag or anything of the sort. So, and just also like being aware of like the, you know, what I wanted to, I don't know. I was just like ready. Like I was ready. I pitched them on, potentially being an educators for photo workshops, one of the photo workshops. And like, I don't know. I just like was grounded in what I wanted to do and was able to talk knowledgeably about like what I wanted to do and what I was hoping to do, and like was aware about the industry and what was going on. And we had some mutuals. And so it was just like one of those scenarios where it's like, you never know. Like, and that's what I love about New York City is you never know who you're going to run into. How are you going to make the few seconds and minutes with them? We were on the corner crosswalk probably for about 15 minutes chatting. So they were very open with their time. I like interrupted their walk. But you know, if you just have 5 minutes to chat with somebody, how do you leave an impression? And again, not in a manipulative way, like in a genuine way. And yeah, it just feels like everything, even though I've been getting so many denials, like everything has made me so, all these applications and talking to myself in this way and, you know, reflecting, like it's really made me well-versed in what I want to do and who I am, and like just better able to articulate things, which is a skill that I don't think I had before, being able to articulate my ideas and desires. I used to always struggle whenever I would try and pitch something for my class assignments, because I was like, you don't understand, I know what I want to do and I just can't say it. And my professor was like, hey, but you got to learn how to say it because you got to be able to pitch. So yeah, that's something that was really, really cool, like to be able to realize like, wow, I have a better sense of me. And, you know, that's only going to continue to get better in the years to come. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, you know, be prepared. You never know. In so many different ways in life, where it's like, that's what you do the work for. Like, that's what you do the technical skill practicing and the like pitching and all these things. That's what you do it for, because you can put years into that, and it can take 30 seconds for that to really count, you know? So then same thing for sets and shoots, right? Like, there can be some shoots where it could be a career breaking and making experience, and it's only 5 minutes. So how do you all that you know and all the experience that you have and the wisdom you've collected and the rejections and the denials and the pains and the hardships and the trials and tribulations and the successes and all that stuff, how do you really work on that so that in those moments when it counts, because some of it is luck, but you know, you have to have the skill to back that up, right? Back that ass up. Anyway, that's all that are on my thoughts right now. And you know, naturally it's gotten later. I need to eat. I should eat. And then the food has to digest. I was like, if I eat, I also want to read at the same time. But if I start a fantasy book, I'm not going to bed. That is like my downfall. I'm not allowed to read a fantasy book. I'm in bed. So maybe I'll read like a nonfiction book while I eat. Or maybe I just don't read. No, I'm going to do it. Because then I'm going to end up on my phone scrolling. And that's equally dangerous. My screen time has been low. Not like, I don't have the stats to actually confirm that, but I feel like I've been less posting even on Instagram, all the things. There was like a period of time where I was posting every single day for maybe a week or two, and then I stopped. I just have had no desire to like be scrolling and posting and sharing anything at the moment, but also I was away, so maybe now I will be sharing a little more. I'll be on it more, but anyway, let me go. It's already been 20 minutes. Can you imagine? Can you believe? You're probably watching this like, yeah, I can, because you yap. And, you know, during my interview, she was like, thank you so much for answering all my questions. I was like, girl, thank you for listening to my answers, because I'm a long-winded yapper. And she goes, but you're a very comprehensive yapper, and this is exactly what we need for this specific scenario. And I was like, yes, I'm a comprehensive yapper. I'm getting better at it. Anyway. I'm gonna go, but I will check in with you tomorrow at some point maybe before the event. At some point I'll check in. Bye. Hey. I know it's been a while. It's Monday. I'm about to sit and finally edit episodes 14, 15, and 16. And I was like, I don't even know the last time I've talked here, so let me give an update. That'll count for like a lot this coming weeks. A lot has happened. I don't even know, again, when I last chatted or what I updated about. I think I talked to me about starting the Artist's Way. And I think that's what's kind of made talking on here a little harder, because now for the morning, I need to do my morning page for today. For the morning pages now, I just kind of like recap everything that happened the day before if I don't have any like thoughts early on. So then I kind of feel like I've already talked about it. It's like things that I would say on here. So I'm like, why would I say, I've already said this to myself, so why would I say it again? But that's not a good excuse. But I think that's where that's come from. And also it was just like a busy weekend. But yeah, so I had applied to a part-time job to do like social content for like 2 times a week. And I heard back, and I just need to fill out like a questionnaire, and we'll hear back again. So that was like a nice little plus. I made it into a next stage, or just like an interview stage, I guess, which was where I made it to last time for another part-time job. And then I had a grant interview for the photo workshop. I think I talked about that. Made it as a finalist, so find out this week if we get it. And then this past weekend, what did I do? On Friday night I went to a TEDx talk at NYU. And I will say, I've done 2 TEDx talks. one in high school and one in college, and the high school one was so well produced. Oh, Sarah Holly, girl, very well done, very well done. And that was front of mind when I was at this one, because I was like, wow, the high schoolers did it really well. But I stayed for the first two speakers, so that was good. And then I Saturday went to the creativity lab at the Museum of Modern Art at the MoMA, because Souls in Focus has like a partnership with them until August. So it was like the first opening, maybe, I don't know, like whatever. But it was like studio image making, like with a group, and inspired by the Ideas of Africa exhibition, which everything just like has been perfectly aligning with the big project I've been working on, because it's heavily inspired by, and for the African diaspora, but it's inspired by African photographers in the 60s and 70s. And so I've just been going to a lot of exhibitions. There's been an increase in exhibitions about African photography, specifically studio portraiture. So I will say it is the same photographers you kind of see, which, you know, there are things to be said about that. So it was like all, like everything was just full circle. But afterwards I went to see the Ideas of Africa exhibition because I wanted to see it, and that was good. And it was cool to just also see more of like the photographers I've been reading about in my own studies. And that was kind of it. Oh, I went to see a friend who was selling some jewelry, and then a friend's birthday later that night. So that was really fun. It was like a mix of like solo creative time and then being with friends and loved ones. Sunday, all I had on the docket was attending the People's Pitch by Safe Space Mentor. And basically how it worked is people got the chance to, everyone submitted applications for a pitch, just any idea, and you could win $2,000 and like a spread in a magazine and lawyer consultations and just a bunch of other stuff. And it was cool because they had like dream mapping at the beginning, and they had an IP lawyer speak, he was incredible. And then the founder of Creative Toolkit come talk, which was awesome. And then the founder of Grow and Mag talk. And it was just like perfect bite-sized pieces of information for like 10 minutes. And then we got to the pitch portion, and the way it worked is they picked 10 people at random, like spin the wheel. You have 3 minutes to pitch, and then the judges make their selection. And I got picked. I was number 3, I think, and got to pitch my project. And I ended up winning second place, which was amazing. And it's just like all I've been doing the past 3 months is applying for so many grants for this project for Studio Roots. And like you get to a point where you kind of feel I not crazy, because I know this is a great idea. Like I haven't felt disheartened, but it does get to you. Like after a while you're like, damn, like how am I gonna get this going? Because I need money to make it work. And I had someone suggest doing like GoFundMe or Kickstarter. I just did that for the marathon charity that I ran with last year in November. So I was doing a lot of fundraising stuff for that. So I already feel like I've asked people for money. Like I ask once a year, and it's usually on behalf of another charity. So or like, hey, I'm selling prints where the sales are all going for charity. So I do that. I make that ask once a year, and I was like, there just seems like there's so many things happening in the world that asking for money to do this project seems like not priority. But I do know the impact it can have and how amazing it will be, and so I think I will start crowdsourcing for like $5,000. So we'll see if we get there to that point, but I'm still just kind of waiting on stuff. And in the interim, I'm just going to keep planning like some details out, like logistics of like how to make the portable equipment, how am I going to source stuff, who would I want to work with, and yada, yada, yada. But that was so validating to be in that room of amazing organizers, like amazing people who are working on so many incredible stuff, and just connecting with them and to get the validation from them. Like my boyfriend recorded the whole thing of my pitch, and like hearing the people being like, I guess, like resonating with it was like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like I knew I wasn't, and I knew it was a good idea. I know it is. But again, like you get to a point. And so to have a room full of primarily Black people who are the audiences and the families that I want to work with, to have them resonate with it that deeply, so many people came up to me afterwards, connected with so many people, and I was like, okay, like, this is good. This is, like, it. And it's a reminder to seek validation from the people that, well, I mean, maybe don't seek validation. I'm watching this car parallel park. Oh my gosh, I don't think this is gonna work. I'm gonna be so impressed if they fit this car inside that tiny thing. Oh my god, you got this. Wow. I'm sorry I doubted you. Wow, they did that shit. Damn, okay. Well done. Anyway, parallel parking skills here in New York are on another level. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I mean, a lot of, like, you know, like, I don't know, don't seek validation, but if you're gonna seek validation, I think we need validation as humans. If you're gonna seek it from the people who get it, and people who are like, it's for. I don't know who's behind the board members and the committees of the grants and stuff, you know? I don't know who on it will resonate, because it's specifically for Black people. But, so that room was a room full of Black people, and they're like, yes. I was like, thank you. And it's awesome because I didn't even think you got any. I didn't know they were doing second places. And, you get, like, consultations with each of the partners involved. And I was like, thank you, because one of them is, like, a lawyer. Like, you'll get legal help. But, like, thank you. I need that. So, that was amazing. And just the visibility. And also, like, working on the pitch, my boyfriend was helping me out with it, and even he was like asking really great questions, and like, because I just kind of copied and pasted what I've been writing down, and it's different when you're writing a pitch for the purpose of being written. It's another thing when you're speaking it to an everyday person. So he was like, it's a lot of big words, and like, I'm lost. I was like, okay, like, you have 3 minutes, how can you do this? And I defaulted to my usual, like, tell a story. And a lot of people were like, yeah, like, your intro, like, really, like, pulled at the heartstrings and conveyed a lot of memories for myself, or conjured a lot of memories for me. So it was a good, like, okay, like, it forces you to learn how to talk about it. Like, I've been writing about it and thinking about it, and I really have that down, but that's different when you talk about it and how you explain it to people. So that was a really good practice. I'm glad he helped me out with it. Made it like 2 hours before. And yeah, so that felt really, really good. Yeah, so now I'm waiting to hear back from the grant this week. There's a residency that's due tonight, if the deadline already didn't pass, if it was like an odd hour of the day instead of like 11:59. So I should check on that actually, because I think it's Europe time, and it is later in Europe. So yeah, I'm gonna apply to that residency, churn out hopefully I will overexposed videos, and I also I'm gonna respond back to that job application, and then wash my hair and do some readings, like catch up through some of the photo books that I still have to get through and return to the library. So that's like the quick rundown. That's what I can remember. I don't remember where I ended this off, and I will do better about like doing this. And I need to do my morning pages too. Maybe I should do that actually before I like open this laptop. I say that, but I'm gonna open the laptop really quickly just to look at it. I shouldn't. Okay, anyway, let me get back to it. But yeah, I'm so proud of you, girl. You've been like holding on, you've been believing in it. And I'm really just proud of how open you've been to, and not like rigid to this idea and structure that you had in terms of by Q1, I need to have this done, and Q2, I need to have this done, and I need to start on this at this time. Like, obviously it helps to have those guardrails, but I think it's been really, really helpful for me to expand beyond that. And something that someone said yesterday, one of the organizers in person who pitched, they were like, we move at community time, not corporate time, like her organization. And that really resonated. It was nice to have the name put on that, because I was already thinking it. I was like, I don't have to move quick. Like, I don't have to move by the structure. It helps me to have quarterly goals for sure. But like, this is life work. This is lifelong work. So what am I rushing for? Obviously there are different reasons why I want certain things done at different points. But it was a good reminder. And I was like, okay, like, none of this has to be rushed. It can be done the right way. And even working on the workshop and having My friend who I'm doing it with, like, remind me too, like, I want to do this right. So, like, we don't have to rush and try and do one just to have one in April. Like, let's do it right and push it off a month. And I was like, okay, yeah, these are all reminders to just slow it down. And I think it gets to you when you don't have something you're, like, it's a reminder that even if you're not actively creating, you're still creating. Especially, like, the level that I've been going at it with studying and the photography stuff and working on things a little bit a day and thinking and having the time to think. Like, that's what you would do out of residency, which is purpose is to have that slow time. So why am I rushing? Like, why am I trying to, like, boom, boom, boom? So that was, like, that's been, like, really, like, eye-openers, call-outs and call-ins for myself, and reminders that, like, we don't gotta move at corporate time, and I don't need to have something out physically as a medium to validate anything in my journey. And I think there's a part of me that's like, it's been 6 months that you left your job and you got nothing to show for it. That's not true. I do have so much to show for it, but a lot of it is more intangible. But that intangible is, like, having had this time, these projects that I've been working on have been results of little threads that I've been, like, a part of coming together and forming this, like, the projects are just like, duh. And it makes so much sense. It's so in alignment with everything I've ever done. But when you don't have the time to sit and think and connect dots for yourself, it doesn't happen. You know, like, I would come back from work exhausted. Of course, I'm not going to be thinking, oh, what can I do? And if I am thinking, like, oh, it'd be so cool if I did that, I'm like, with what time? So you just kind of leave it. And it makes me sad to think of all the creativity that we're missing out on, the creative solutions, the worlds that people are building in their head, how much we're missing because people don't have the time to just sit and think, because you're worried about paying rent and you're worried about, you know, like, making ends meet and all the things that we gotta do in this structure that we live in. And so I'm so grateful that I've just had that time. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. And, you know, I'm so proud of myself for having worked so fucking hard to get myself financially in a place where I could get to this point. So that's all you, girl. I'm really proud of you. I'm just like celebrating the wins, because, like, it's so important to be present and, like, enjoy it. I want to really work on not saying like and as much as I do, but I really want to be present. I really want to enjoy any win, even just, like, if it's a rejection, it's like that experience of having applied to stuff, you know, makes it worth it. And with the pitch, like, I am reworking the idea that I have, and I'm going to go into my master document about everything related to this project and shift things around. And maybe that shift, I'm now going to change how I apply, and maybe that'll be what works. Like, maybe that's the missing piece. Or maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Who knows? Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna get back to it. It's been 15 minutes. I just wanted to give a little bit of an update because I've been a little MIA in this space. But hopefully I will have all of this up soon. And if you're watching, thank you.